Welcome back to the One Show on the Rise News. I'm Rufai Hussaini, but hey, most importantly, we've got a great guest here. We've got a great conversation coming up. So, Adeswa.
Yes, Living in Bondage, the sequel to the 1992 Nollywood classic, is a film which mirrors the Nigerian society. Actually, is Living in Bondage the sequel full name Breaking Free?
Yeah,
Breaking Free.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The star-studded film is seen from the directorial interpretation of Ramsey Noah, who tells the story of a man who joined a secret cult to gain enormous wealth after killing his wife in a ritual sacrifice and was later haunted by his dead wife's ghost.
Well, I've been joined by Enyinna Nwigwe, one of the actors in the film. Great to have you.
Always great to be here.
You saw the first Living in Bondage.
I did, absolutely.
What was it like?
It was amazing. It's so much, was so huge in its time that I got my confirmation name from inspiration from the lead character, Andy.
Are you serious? So your name is Andy, actually?
Andrew. So it was like the catechist on the night before confirmation asked us to choose names from a list, and I had to go for a name I could shout out to Andy, just because living in bondage in the time. And look at us here 27 years after.
You know, Living in Bondage was such a huge film. I remember it came out in 1992, so I was 2 years old. And even after all that time, when I was able to actually watch it, it was such a huge part of, you know, the Nollywood society. And we have like the first generation of actors who are back on this movie, and you are the second generation. What was that like, coming into this family and being part of it?
It was like super exciting. This hasn't been done. This is like Nollywood spinning 360 and coming back to where it started, because the commercial Nollywood literally started from Living in Bondage title, you know, as we know it today. So having to be amongst the legends, Manuel Udoko, Kanayo, and the Kenneth Okonkwo, of course, that inspired, you know, my name, you know, having to be in the same, and doing the same film. It's such huge significance.
What in Living in Bondage inspired you to want to be part of the sequel, Breaking Free? What was it that spoke to you that, you know, you said, I just have to be part of this project?
I'd say the rawness of the culture, the cultural, you know, appeal to it. You know, there's something, you know, something really Igbo prideful about it, so to speak. You know, it was all done in Igbo in its time, even though this version, it's a bit more balanced, so we can accommodate more people in the, you know, in the storytelling, you know. So, but there's just that nostalgia, you know, that feels really good, and it felt that good then when I knew nothing about what my future was going to be, if it was going to be in film as an actor, you know. So imagining being here today and being part of how we started or where we came from.
Because prior to Living in Bondage, I mean, the movies you normally had were shown in traveling cinemas, the likes of Herbert Ogunde and the likes. It was the first VHS.
VHS, yes.
Yeah, you know,
Yes.
that was the one they really put out there.
Yes.
You know, this is our concept of home video.
That's exactly,
Home
that's the
video.
commercial, you know, your mass
Living in
production.
Bondage started it, and I'm excited that they've been able to bring, you know, best of both worlds. We had the likes of Kanayo. We had you in this movie. What is going to be the societal message? And you know, the thing about Living in Bondage is it's apt for every generation.
Yes.
Then it was what they called blood money.
Now, occult,
occult is the likes of audio money.
Yes. Yes.
On Instagram.
Yes.
You know, we don't know where it's coming from. I mean, I was telling you the joke of somebody saying the God of somebody that's been arrested now for being a fraudster.
Be careful the God you call.
We've called the God you call.
Yes.
So the message is still apt. The quest for money, it doesn't change. It's all season. I mean, what can a lot of people learn from this? And
Well, your consequences of your actions, you get to deal with it. It's you get to understand what's sustainable and what's not, and what glitters not being gold. You know, what the thin line between greed and desire, so to speak. So it's all there. It's all wrapped up. Yeah, it could come off as, oh, it's a dark film, but then the lessons are there. It resolves in a way that everyone takes away something and understands that, look, all this flash in the pan is not like the life you really want to live. Like, it's not the most sustainable life to live.
Was this challenging? Sorry, Shaitan. Was this challenging for you in any way, or was it just another role I can you know, just interpret? Because Ramsey Noah is a director. This is his own directorial debut, And when he was interviewed, he said this is fascinating for him. I wonder what it was like for you, and what was it like working with Ramsey Noah?
I was actually going to take it there because it's so refreshing for me. Two things I find refreshing away from the norm of working with a regular male director is working with a female director and working with an actor turned director. So these two people handle talent differently, and I am very aware of what it does to me on set, the kind of energy and how we flow and work. So Ramsey is that example, and he's had all these brilliant ideas over the years. He's been wanting to do something, but I think the industry was never ready for his mind, and to find this balance where he's everything he's always dreamed of comes together, meeting such a strong title as this gave me such excitement, and he brought that actor's understanding to his directing. He knew how to communicate without saying certain words sometimes, or how to treat you before a scene that naturally warms you into it. We just have conversations, and it's like collaborative. And the more pulled in you are as a talent, at least for me, the more I feel like, yes, let's do this. And he just found that really fluid way of getting across. Fantastic. I'm really, really, above everything else, excited for his directorial debut being this title.
It did take 2 years, from my understanding, to make this film. And as an actor that has, an Hollywood actor that has been around for a long time, taking a look at the new, people call it the new Nollywood movies that are coming on there. So many of them now going on Netflix, which is one of the biggest
global streaming
platforms in the world right now. What would you say if you looked at Nollywood 20 years ago and looking at Nollywood now, how would you say the industry has grown for good and for bad?
It's grown in huge proportions, and I personally believe it could be a lot better. We have our hitches, we try and resolve them beyond the Nollywood distribution is a thing, and of course we're talking digital era now, so dynamics have changed, and people are evolving nicely, albeit slow. It can be faster, but then you go to talking about the telcos as well. Data availability and all that could always help with that. That is away from the industry. But we have sustained and moved our passion in a way that we have owned it, and now we have come to a place where it's more exportable than ever. That's why the platforms you mentioned are very interested in our content, and it's all coming together, it's all coming together. It can only get better. Now we are being cast directly to come feature as Africans in across borders, as against just casting anyone that has a skin color. It's all coming together now, and we're excited. It's a good time to be in play.
Let me talk about something very funny and out of this world, box office. And when you watch the Nollywood scene, you see that releasing this movie in November is quite strategic, because the big people too will release their movie in December. And we all know how the box office race normally starts. It's been said that maybe apart from Kemi Adetiba's movie, that the movies released in December has a way of getting the big box office, and the genre is mostly comedy and the likes. I know you're smiling already.
Well, I'm waiting for you to land.
But are you making any big predictions? This might this be the biggest grossing this year?
It is going to be the biggest grossing. Don't forget that it's not.
Can we quote you?
Yes, quote me.
Okay.
So we don't have the advantage of the December play and the December rush, but we do hope that with the kind of rush we can get coming out early November, can sustain us into playing in the big
because
field.
It's strategic.
Yeah, we are disadvantaged in that sense, because we are playing, we'll die. The bus is going to be dying off towards December after a few weeks, but then I believe strongly that Nigerians will come out and sustain it so much that the diasporas, as it trickle in, that will be the first thing they want to do for leisure, and it will go on from there, and I believe it will stay through to January.
So you think you can cross the $1 million mark?
I think we have every chance to do that.
Cross the $1 million mark?
Possibility is nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
That's why you all have to go and support and watch and do repeated viewings.
Okay, let's see a trailer, a clip from the movie.
Growing up, we always wanted more. You felt you're never really where you're meant to be. Come on, we go. Look at this life. Do you want this life? And I can give it to you. Everything.
When I'm giving you things right now, 150 million, I swear to God, one go back from here. Lagos, you got no Lagos, you got one get over that.
Like I said, it blast off, let's do that stuff. Moving like I'm cool in the game. Doing the mainframe, when I'm doing my thing. Power.
It's not free, my boy.
Man, you stood pat, waiting on another cat. Ended up deflated like a
Look at it, star boy on side.
Mr. Richard. Yeah.
Amazing party you have here.
What do you know about Richard Williams?
The Six. This cult group, the Brotherhood of the Six, have been involved in countless murders.
What do you have to do with all these killings, Mr. Zion? Why is he after you and your son? If we go down, you go down.
You are in grave danger.
And the minute they start to inch close, I snap their necks.
When you take, you give is the order of things.
This is no game.
Clock is ticking.
Fast cars, the lush life. I'm looking forward to seeing this movie. I just want to pick up from where I stopped before we watch that clip, because making a sequel 26 years after is very dicey. There's the risk of just remaking the old with new faces such as yourself, Munachi, and a couple of other people. And there's also the tendency to surpass, the first movie. But you are so optimistic that you're going to surpass the pedestal.
I'm always optimistic. I got a few calls right before in the box office, the wedding party, case in point. And I'm just hoping that I'm not crazy this time. Well, big ups to Charles Okweleke of Play Network. He's like the mind behind this. He went for it. Like he went for that bold step to put money down for this. The executive producer, Steve Kukas as well. Co-producer, amazing work. Yeah.
We'll be right back after this quick break. We'll talk more about this.
Welcome back to the show. We have since been joined by Munachi Abii, from Our Most Beautiful Girl in Nigeria, hip-hop artist, actor.
Rapper.
Welcome to the show. Rapper.
Director, too.
Director, too. Wow.
Muna, quickly, your take on this movie, and your expectations.
This is a big deal for me because I grew up watching Enyinna Bondage with one eye, obviously, because it was scary. But then, yes, now that I'm older and I get to be a part of such a great project, it's like a pinpoint. What's the word? It's like a timeline, a point in time for Nollywood. Like the first time Living in Bondage came out, it set the pace for Nollywood, and now that it's coming out again, it's setting another pace for Nollywood. So this is a great thing for me to be a part of this project. And
We just put a bet down. He said it's going to cross the $1 million mark. It's going to do over 500 million.
I think it would. Because you know how many Nigerians are in the world. Let's not even forget about Nigerians, Africans. How many people want to watch Living in Bondage?
But what was filming like for you? Because I do hear that you filmed in several locations apart from Nigeria, South Africa, Durban. What was it like for you?
It was such a great experience for me. I was here most of the time. Most of my scenes were in Nigeria. I got to go to Owerri, which is where I'm from. I got to go to the village and do some parts there, which was pretty cool. I got to work with the veterans and the OKK, and Kanayo, and Ndidi Obi, who's a Nigerian pretty second. She's beautiful. They're all amazing, and look, my mind is blown.
Now, I just want to ask about the premiere tomorrow.
Right.
Now, we know that in Nollywood, it's becoming a thing where movie premieres are now embraced. Before, you just go pick up the movie or we watch it online. Now, how do you think that has affected the movies in themselves? The fact that there's actually a lot seen, and we know that Emmy was one of the people that actually made movie premieres a thing. But to see that being done for this particular movie, how do you think that has an effect on the movie itself?
I think it's a big deal because this is part of promotions, right? If you do like a really huge premiere, a lot of people are interested in seeing what people are wearing, who's going to be there, what people are doing. A lot of people want to come for the premiere so they can see the movie for the first time. I want to go because this is like the biggest premiere that I have to be a part of. So I'm looking forward to that, and a lot of people are looking forward to that too. And this is going to set the pace again for things to come.
Did you do any scenes together in the movie?
Oh, both of us? No, we actually didn't. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, we're in the same space. Things were instigated from within the same space, but not like directly. Yeah.
What was the most challenging part for you?
For me?
Yes, in this movie.
Laying in the coffin.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
It's supposed to be scary, but it's really not. It's just like being in a box.
Did they cover it?
Yeah, they did.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was scary.
What was your role like?
My role? She's an intelligent but a little clumsy. Her name is Kelly. The character I played, her name is Kelly, and she's a love interest for Nnamdi Okeke, who happens to be Andy Okeke's son, who's trying to find himself. I, on the other hand, I'm from a Silver Spoon family, but I'm a little ditzy, but I have my roots. I'm very close to my roots. I'm very Igbo with it. And I fell in love with this guy, and things take off from there. But now, do we know if he's going to sacrifice me to the gods?
I just saw, when she was doing your introduction, she spoke about, the most beautiful girl in Nigeria. You are a rapper, you're a musician, you're a model, and now you're acting. Are we going to be seeing more of you in Nollywood?
Yes, actually. I do like acting. First time I tried it, and I was just like testing the waters, right? And then I went into it, and I fell in love with it. I love the fact that I get to meet people like this guy. And it's like a family. Every set you go into, you form a bond and you become family, and friendships are built from there, and then it goes on for years. So I like things like that. I love writing stories. I love working with people.
So it's Nollywood now, no longer rapping?
No. We're still rapping. Don't get it twisted.
You want to drop a line or two?
No. We didn't forget you in this conversation. So let's bring it back to you. If there's anything you could change about this entire movie, do you think there's anything you could have changed?
Nope.
Really?
Perfect.
So it's perfect.
We have the right combination of, like you said, the veterans with the new age. I think we have the best story that shows the evolution of Nollywood. But in picture quality, everything, technically, story-wise, performance-wise, everything. Everyone is original in their own character. So it's amazing. It's great.
Yes, speechless. We asked him about working with Ramsey Noah. This is his own directorial debut. What was it like for you working with Ramsey Noah?
Nothing short of amazing.
Okay.
This is my first time working with Ramsey.
Okay.
And he blew my mind. I got so inspired. Actually, I think the word is inspired because of him, I realized that I could go fully into like the movie industry and actually see the business of making film and things like that. So Ramsey Noah set the pace for me. He's very passionate about his craft. He's very intricate with the details, and you can't really go wrong with that. See, I like working with people like that.
Right, so when is it out in cinemas as we wrap things all up?
It's going to be out
8th of November.
8th of November.
Yes.
Good. All right, so Living in Bondage, Breaking Free, 8th of November. Go out there, check it out in cinemas, and we'll try to get to the premiere tomorrow and come tell you what it looks like.
Yes.
See you there.
That brings us to the end of the show today.
Thank you so much for watching. I am Adeso Almoran. Thank you guys for coming on the show.
I am Rufai Hussein, the lover of living in bondage.
And I'm Shaiton Atigari. Thank you for watching from...
and the coverer of the premiere.
I shall be there tomorrow. I can't wait. For my entire team here in Lagos, enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your weekend. Goodbye.